I'm a channeler, and welcome to your weekday daily card reading where we dive into the cards, see what's in store with a message from Spirit. How are you all doing? How was your week last week? I am back now from Disney World. Of course, I have to wear my Disney sweatshirt this morning to feel cozy and keep all those memories and good vibes from Disney World. So that being said, let's dive into what the message is today. First of all, I want to say there is an emphasis, and the timing is really interesting. There is an emphasis from Spirit that I got just about an hour ago, and they were saying, tune into your authentic self. And this was a message for all of us. They said, please share this with everyone. This week is about tuning into your authentic self, and not just the authentic self in our daily lives, like our 3D self, but the authentic soul self. And even as I'm saying that right now, I can feel the energy in the room totally shift and get more vivid, it's like time has slowed. And in that slowing of time, they're like, know who you are. And that again is for all of you. Tune into your authentic soul self this week. See who is there. There's something that many of you have been waiting for to rise from within that desires to come out. And so the reason why I say that is really interesting is because the podcast that comes out today is with Lisa Richmond, and it's about kind of the goddess energy and the goddess sense of self and connecting into those deeper layers of self. So in a way, it sort of ties into the message right now too. So I find that really neat. So with that being said then, moving on, let's see what the cards have to share. This week, I'm going to be using the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. This was very spirit guided this week, so I'm curious to see what the messages will be as we move through the week. So let me give this one more shuffle. Okay, I have my little cat here who wants to join in. Okay. Okay. That felt like a very specific cut point too, I have to say. Wow. This makes total sense as to why Spirit said what they said. Okay, first off is answer the call. This card says, what is your soul calling you to do? And Spirit just said for us to tune into that authentic soul self. So what this means is your higher self is wanting to come through and speak. Your higher self is wanting to communicate more of who you are. More of who you are wants to surface. And again, that's beyond the 3D human self. This is the ancient aspect of you, because this is what's so cool. The next card out is the Age of Light. And this card says, you have been training for this for lifetimes. Meaning, all of you that are watching this and resonating with this message, you have been working towards this incarnation specifically to be here at this time. And we've been talking about it, to be a change maker in some form, whether it's in your own soul energetic line, your biological lineage, what you do in your community, how you affect others, what you're bringing in for your children or your family, whatever it is, you're not here by mistake. You are completely here with a purpose. And again, those purposes can be so vast, and we can also have many. We can have some dominant ones and some kind of side ones. So maybe right now you're thinking, I have no purpose, but maybe you're living part of the smaller pieces of that purpose, moving in the direction of the big part. Whereas others of you might be working and moving in that big part while there are other sideline pieces happening. Either way, you are meant to be here right now, and your soul is wanting to lead the way. Now, what's really cool is with that card as well is the Imrama card. And this says, where are you being called to journey to? So if we put this together, if you have been preparing for this lifetime, for lifetimes, and you're here now, Spirit is saying your authentic soul self is wanting to come through. The cards are saying, answer the call of your soul. And this card is saying, where are you being called to journey to? This tells me that for a lot of you, this week is going to be very pivotal in, I think my cat agrees, in direction. There's something coming forward with direction. And that direction is completely linked to your internal soul self. So you really have to tune into the energy of your heart space, tune into what feels right and what doesn't. And what they're showing me right now is for some that are like, I don't even know how to do that. It can be as simple as tuning into daily 3D things that help you then feel into the bigger aspect things, such as food. If you actually feel into your body of what your body wants, and I'm not talking about the sugar or caffeine cravings, I'm talking about, say you have an option for dinner and you're like, okay, I need to have a carb of some sort. And instead of just going with what you should do, you're like, normally I would have rice, but my body is craving potatoes for some reason. And if you don't know, potatoes can be very grounding. So in your choice of carbohydrate, you're picking one that actually grounds your energy because it's a root vegetable, right? There's a density to it, whereas rice is a little bit more part of the wind. So again, like you can start to tune into those subtleties of what your being desires, starting with the physical, and then that leads you to be able to tune into the larger aspects of yourself that are wanting to come through. So for today, consider what is feeling aligned with you, what actions are feeling aligned with you. It could show up in how you move your body. Maybe normally you go for a run, but one day you're like, I don't want to go for a run. I just want to do stretching. My body feels like it needs stretching. Answer that. Because in answering those, you will follow the energy of this card, which is, where are you being called to journey to? Every journey has to start with a step. Sometimes it's a leap, but oftentimes it's a step. And so your step might feel small, but eventually those steps lead to an entire journey. Every kilometer starts with step 1, then step 2. And before you know it, you've hit a kilometer or more, or if you're in the States, a mile or more. So something to consider. There's a big direction piece happening today and this week, all coming from within. The more you tune into listening within, the more you will receive those directions. Spirit is saying, pull one more card. They're also saying, because nothing happens by chance. So also with the synchronistic alignments, okay, I get it. Synchronistic alignments can very much lead into where you've been called to journey to as well. You may find you just, again, in listening to that energy, you may think, normally I would grab a coffee, but today I want this one specialty coffee from this fun little shop that I love to go to. And, it's 5-10 minutes out of my way, but I'm just going to honor that. In that, you may have this beautiful synchronistic alignment because they're saying, again, nothing happens by chance. Okay, let's see. One more card, Spirit. What is the message? Ooh, I love this. Okay, this card says, don't dim your light to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? And this actually pairs so beautifully. So often we essentially, in many ways, and many of them unconscious, have been sort of trained to not listen to ourselves, not listen to our intuition, to that soul calling. And so, instead of doing or choosing something we really want, whatever that may be, we'll dim our own inner desire or pull from our heart to go with what we should do or what is expected of us. And this is all part of breaking free from the old paradigm into the new paradigm to allow these direction shifts to happen. Spirit's like, there's beautiful synchronicities at play. Keep your heart open and your eyes available to see that which you may have missed. There's more to be revealed within the transparency of life. And that's so interesting because last week we had a message, I think it was Thursday, on transparency. So there's more to become transparent. So cool. All right, I will leave that with you for now. I could go on and on, but happy Monday, everyone. May you have a beautiful start to your week. May you feel valued, worthy, important, and that you matter. So I'll leave that with all of you. Check out the podcast, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a beautiful one.